Welcome to another episode of The Walkthrough. Meet Ebony Mixon, a warrior who turned all her scars into strength. Molested as a child by the people who's supposed to protect her. Locked up for survival, battling a life of addiction. Shot in the face by somebody who vowed to love her, but she's still standing. Now she's here to fight the hardest battle yet. Rebuilding her family. The Ebony Mixon story starts now.
Hello, my name is Ebony, and I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, on the east side area of Birmingham, Alabama. And I was raised in a single-parent home with my grandmother, and she was divorced from her husband, so it was just her and me and my brother. My grandmother was a very religious person, so we went to church every Sunday. We went to Bible study. I was in the choir and all when I was growing up. And I grew up with my grandmother because my mother was not present in our life. She was always in and out, or in and out, because I guess she wanted to live her own life, or be in the streets and just do her own thing. So that made me hurt, that made me embarrassed, that made me angry because I felt like my mom chose the streets over her children because she couldn't sit down. And my grandma had called us and she was like, oh, you got a visitor, y'all got a visitor, come home. And then my mom and we were so happy, and we spent the whole weekend together, sleeping in the same bed and everything. And then Monday morning came, and I was getting ready to go to school, and I was like, you gonna be here when I get home? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, you promise? And she was like, I promise. And I just kept asking her, she promised. So I went on to school, and then when I came home, first thing I did was ran and look for my mama, and she wasn't there. And I was 12 years old. And I remember telling my grandma, I said, F her. I said, I'm tired of her walking in and out of my life. And I started walking out the front door from that day forward. I attended Banks Middle School. At this time, I was currently still active in my sports and school activities. I was still active in my volleyball. 7th grade, I would end up being the co-captain. 8th grade, I ended up being the captain of the volleyball team at Banks Middle School. I went to attended football games. I attended basketball games. I attended pep rallies, and I was, still being active. By the time I reached high school, I didn't really want to go to school anymore. I was rebellious. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I didn't want to go nowhere every day, all day. So I only really went to high school to gamble in the bathroom and to meet my friends and stuff so we could leave school. At the age of 14, an incident came up where I had to go to summer school. And if I didn't go to summer school, I would have to repeat the same grade again. So I already told you how my relationship was with my mom. And so I didn't have a father, period. I can't even tell you what he looked like. I don't even know. So I come in the house and she give me the telephone. She tell me somebody on the phone want me. So I get the phone, this man on the phone, and he just talking. And he tell me about school and what I need to do. So I'm cussing him, he cussing me. And he told me, I don't give a about you. I ain't never gave a about you. If I would have gave a about you, I would have been there with you. Go sell your for some summer school money. And I was hurt. I was angry and I was upset. And he was on the phone. And I couldn't do nothing but yell and scream at him. But my mama was right there. And I started yelling and screaming and stuff at her. And I was asking her, why did you call him? why did you call him? And so I got mad at her. And I jumped on her and started fighting her. And that was the first time, only time, that I put my hands on my mother at the age of 14 after that incident. Me and my homegirls were there. We catch our first case at 15. They had just changed the law over where you could go to the county jail at 16 instead of being 18 then. Wonderful. Just made the mark. And so it was me and a few of my homegirls, but we had did so stupid and got arrested. So the judge told me that she felt like my grandma was too old to raise me. So she thought I would do better with my mom. So I ended up going to stay at my mom's house. And so I was in there one day getting ready to go to the probation office. And I heard my mama come in, slam the doors and fussing. Then about 1 minute later, I see my stepdaddy come in and slam the doors and fussing. And I saw him push her down on the bed. But when he pushed her down on the bed, I just snapped. And when I snapped, I went in there and I started fighting him and stuff. And as we was fighting and all that, he ended up pulling a knife on me. And so after he pulled a knife on me, I told my mama in her face, she was sitting on the steps. And I said, your husband me. And she was sitting there, and I said, did you hear me? And I said, your husband, you know how men be like, go to kind of bitches and hoes, and so, you know, when you get mad and stuff. And so I was like, I wasn't no bitch, no hoe. You came down in that bed, my mom went to work, and me, and then, like I said, she ain't saying that. And then when I got in her face, and I was like, did you hear me? I was like, your husband. She ain't never say that. She ain't never say that.
How that made you feel?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Cause I can't even say how it made me feel now, but I feel like I think she knew, after she died and stuff. But before we had got to the fight, I supposed to have went back and told about the day when it happened. My mama had went to work one day, and I was at home still laying down, and my stepdaddy had came, and like I said, I was still laying in the bed, and he pulled the cover back and got in the bed, and I just laid there, you feel me? And then he got on top of me and started doing it. And I just laid there. And that made me feel stupid. That made me feel mad. That made me feel like, cause I was hard. I had been in the streets. I wish a bitch would, or I wish a nigga would try me. And then when it happened, I ain't do nothing. I ain't do nothing. Sometimes I felt like it was my fault. I should have did something.
Can't blame yourself for a situation like that. That was definitely, he was at fault. So you shouldn't blame yourself on that.
Yeah, and I know that. And I know, like I said, at that time, in 15 and stuff, but when you be thinking you be grown or thinking you hard, or You don't know what you'll do until you put in that situation. And sometimes when you put in that situation, it's not how you think it'll be. So that was kind of hard because nobody really said anything else. I told my grandma, I told my auntie, I told my mama, I told everybody.
Did anybody say something to him or confront him or anything?
That man can still eat down there at my grandma's table.